Jack was a human explorer on a mission. His ship had landed on a strange planet far from Earth. The planet was wild and full of unknown dangers. The sky was a mix of orange and purple, and tall trees with blue leaves swayed in the soft wind. Jack loved exploring new worlds, but this one felt different. Quiet, but with a strange tension in the air. He walked carefully through the forest, his boots crunching on the dry leaves. Suddenly, his radio crackled with a weak signal. It was an SOS call. Someone was asking for help. Jack's heart beat faster. He did not know who sent the call or where exactly it came from, but he had to find them. Following the signal, Jack pushed through thick bushes and climbed over rocks. The call grew louder and clearer. Soon he reached a small clearing. There, under a fallen tree, he saw a small creature. It looked like a child, but it was clearly not human. Its skin was smooth and pale green, with big dark eyes that looked scared. The child was trapped and could not move. Jack quickly ran to the child and lifted the heavy branch with all his strength. The child let out a soft cry but did not fall. Jack carefully pulled the child out from under the tree. The little alien was hurt, its leg was bleeding, and it looked very weak. Jack's training kicked in. He took out his medical kit and began to clean the wound. The child watched him with wide eyes, too tired to speak. Jack spoke softly, trying to calm the frightened child. "You're safe now," he said gently. "I will help you." Suddenly, Jack heard movement behind the trees. A figure stepped forward, a tall woman with silver hair and strong features. She wore armor made from shining metal plates. Her eyes were sharp but filled with worry. She looked at Jack carefully, then at the child in his arms. "Who are you?" she asked in a clear voice but with a soft tone. "Why did you come here?" Jack stood tall and answered honestly. "I heard the call for help. I wanted to save whoever was in trouble." The woman's eyes softened. She stepped closer and looked at her child. "You saved my child," she said with relief. "Thank you, human. My name is Lyra." Jack smiled. "I'm Jack. I'm glad I found you in time." Lyra nodded. "This place is dangerous. Many creatures hunt us. We are a small tribe and we have little help." Jack looked around the forest. He felt the same tension. "Maybe I can help you," he said. "Tell me more about your tribe." Lyra sat down on a rock, careful to hold her child close. "We come from a planet called Virelia, in the Outer Rim. Our people are peaceful but strong. We live hidden from the bigger empires. But lately the predators have become bolder. They attack without warning." Jack listened carefully. He knew the universe was full of danger, but he also knew humans were good at adapting and fighting. "Jack, I can help protect your people," he said. Lyra looked at him, surprised but hopeful. "Many outsiders come here, but few stay to help. Why should I trust you?" Jack met her gaze. "Because I saved your child. I don't turn my back on those in need, and I want to learn about your people." Lyra studied him for a moment. Then, she gave a small nod. "Come with me to the village, you will see how we live." Jack followed her through the forest. Along the way, they crossed rivers with sparkling water and passed giant trees with thick trunks. Birds with bright feathers sang songs in the sky. It was beautiful, but Jack never forgot the danger that lurked. As they walked, Jack asked questions about Virelia, its history, customs, and enemies. Lyra answered patiently, proud of her heritage but worried for the future. After some time, they reached the village. It was built inside a large clearing surrounded by natural stone walls. The homes were made from wood and glowing crystals that gave soft light at night. Aliens of different shapes and sizes moved about, some tending gardens, others sharpening weapons. The village was quiet but alive. Jack could see the strength in their eyes. Despite being few, they stood tall and proud. Lyra took Jack to the center of the village where the elders gathered. They looked at Jack with surprise and caution. One elder, an older alien with deep blue skin and white hair, spoke slowly. "You brought our child back. That is no small thing." Jack bowed his head respectfully. "I did what any human would, too." The elder smiled. Perhaps, but we are glad you did. Jack felt a warmth in the acceptance. For the first time on this planet, he felt like he belonged. Lyra then whispered to Jack, "Our people honor those who save life. We have customs to show our thanks." Jack was curious but said nothing. He knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter in his life. As night fell, the village lit up with soft blue and green lights from the crystals. Jack sat by a small fire with Lyra and the child. The child reached out and touched Jack's hand. Jack smiled, feeling a connection he did not expect. He looked at Lyra, who smiled back. "You saved more than my child, Jack. You saved hope." Jack nodded, knowing his journey had changed forever. He was no longer just an explorer. He had found a new mission, to protect and help these people who had become his friends. The morning sun rose softly over the village of Virelia, casting a warm light on the blue-green crystals that decorated the homes. Jack woke up feeling a strange mix of excitement and responsibility. He was a stranger in this world, but he could see how much this place and its people needed help. Lyra was already awake, sitting near the entrance of her home, watching over her child who was playing quietly with a small wooden toy. When Jack stepped outside, she smiled warmly. "Good morning, Jack," she said. "You slept well?" "Yes, thank you," Jack replied. "Your people are kind." Lyra nodded. "We must be kind to each other if we are to survive, but threats grow near every day." Jack looked out toward the forest beyond the village walls. He had seen tracks of large creatures, predators that moved silently and with great power. He knew these dangers could strike any time. "Tell me more about these threats," Jack said. "I want to understand what we face." Lyra's eyes grew serious. "They are called the Drakari, large, fierce beasts with sharp claws and teeth. They hunt not only for food but to drive us from our lands. My tribe has fought them for many years." Jack felt a chill. "Have they attacked the village?" "Not yet," Lyra answered, "but they are coming closer. We lost many in the last raid." Jack clenched his fists. "I will help you prepare defenses. Humans have ways to fight, even the strongest enemies." Lyra studied him. "You are brave to say that. Many humans come with weapons, but few stay to help. They only take what they want." Jack shook his head. "I want to build trust, not break it." Lyra smiled, a flicker of hope shining in her eyes. "Then you will be welcome here." After breakfast, Jack was introduced to the village elders. They gathered in a circle near the great tree at the village center. The oldest elder, named Saren, spoke in a deep voice. "Jack, you saved a child's life. Our customs require us to honor you for that deed." Jack looked around at the faces, some curious, some cautious. "I don't expect a reward," he said humbly. "Saving a life is its own reward." Saren nodded. "In our culture, gratitude is shown not only with words but with gifts and bonds. It strengthens our trust and friendship." Lyra stepped forward. "I wish to offer Jack a gift from our people." The villagers watched closely as Lyra handed Jack a small, smooth object wrapped in cloth. When he unwrapped it, Jack saw it was an ancient amulet carved from glowing stone. "This amulet is a symbol of protection," Lyra explained. "It is said to hold the power to strengthen its bearer in times of danger." Jack turned the amulet in his hands, feeling its weight and the strange energy it seemed to hold. "It is beautiful. Thank you." Lyra's eyes met his. "More than a gift, it is a promise. A promise that you are part of our tribe now." Jack felt moved. He looked around at the village, the people who had welcomed him, and the mother and child who had trusted him with their lives. That evening, Jack sat by the fire with Lyra and her child. The child had started to smile and laugh more, feeling safer with Jack nearby. Jack told them stories of Earth, of tall cities, flying machines, and vast oceans. Lyra listened with wide eyes, amazed at the world beyond her own. "You humans have great strength," Lyra said softly. "Not only in your bodies but in your hearts." Jack smiled. "We do, but we also learn from others, like you and your people." Over the next days, Jack helped the village prepare for the possible attack. He worked with the warriors, teaching them new ways to use their weapons and build traps. They trained together, mixing human tactics with Varelian skills. Lyra fought, beside Jack, strong and fearless. The villagers began to see Jack not just as an outsider, but as one of their own. He shared their meals, joined their ceremonies, and learned their language. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of red and gold, Lyra pulled Jack aside. "There is something you must know," she said quietly. "The threat we face is more than wild beasts. There are others who wish to take our lands for themselves." Jack frowned. "Who are they?" "They are a group called the Kargans," Lyra explained. "Mercenaries who work for a powerful empire. They see our home as a resource to be taken." Jack's mind raced. "This is more dangerous than I thought." Lyra nodded. "That is why your help is so important. Together we can protect our people and our home." Jack looked at her, feeling the weight of the task ahead. But he also felt something else, a growing respect and bond with Lyra and her tribe. He knew that saving her child was only the beginning. The real challenge was to stand with them, fight for their future, and prove that humans could be more than strangers. They could be allies and friends. That night, Jack held the amulet close. It was more than a stone. It was a symbol of hope, trust, and a new beginning. And Jack was ready to face whatever came next. Days passed quickly in the village of Varelia. Jack had become part of the tribe's daily life. He woke early, trained with the warriors, and helped plan the village's defenses. Lyra was always near, watching him with quiet approval. The bond between them was growing stronger. One morning, as the sun rose softly, Lyra approached Jack with a serious look. "Jack, come with me," she said. "I want to show you something important." Curious, Jack followed her through the village and into the thick forest beyond. The trees were tall and close, their leaves casting long shadows on the ground. The air was fresh and cool, filled with the scent of pine and earth. After walking for some time, they reached a small clearing. In the middle stood a stone pedestal, covered with ancient symbols. On top of it lay a small box made from dark wood, carved with delicate patterns. Lyra looked at Jack with deep respect. "This is the heart of Varelia," she explained. "It is a gift passed down for generations. It holds great power but also great responsibility." Jack's eyes widened. What kind of power? Lyra opened the box carefully. Inside was a glowing crystal, about the size of a fist. It shone with a soft blue light, like the stars on a clear night. "This crystal contains energy from our planet," Lyra said. "It can heal wounds, protect us from harm, and strengthen those who carry it. But only those with a pure heart and good intentions can use it." Jack reached out and touched the crystal. He felt warmth spread through his fingers and a calm strength inside him. Lyra smiled gently. "We wish to give this to you, Jack. You have shown kindness, bravery, and respect. This is our way of honoring you and making you part of our tribe." Jack was surprised and deeply moved. "I don't know what to say. This is more than I ever expected." Lyra placed the crystal carefully into Jack's hands. "Take it with you, use it wisely, and know that you will always have a home here with us." Jack nodded, feeling a strong sense of pride and duty. "I promise to protect your people and honor this gift." As they walked back to the village, Jack thought about the meaning of the crystal. It was not just a tool or a weapon. It was a symbol of trust and friendship between two very different worlds. Back in the village, Jack showed the crystal to the elders. They examined it with awe and respect, nodding in approval. Saren, the oldest elder, spoke. "This gift will help us survive the dark days ahead. With Jack's strength and this power, our tribe will stand tall." Over the next days, Jack learned how to use the crystal's energy. With Lyra's guidance, he practiced focusing his mind and heart to unlock its power. He found that the crystal could heal wounds quickly and shield him from harm. The villagers were amazed. They gathered around, Jack watching as small cuts disappeared and armor glowed softly with protection. Lyra stood proudly beside him. "You carry the spirit of Virelia now." Jack smiled. "I carry your hope." Their training and preparation continued. Jack and Lyra worked together to teach the villagers how to use the crystal's power. The tribe felt stronger and more confident than ever before. One evening, as the sky turned pink and orange, Jack and Lyra sat by a quiet stream near the village. The water flowed gently over smooth stones, reflecting the colors of the sunset. Lyra looked at Jack with soft eyes. "You have changed our fate, Jack. You came as a stranger, but now you are family." Jack reached out and took her hand. "And you have changed mine, Lyra. I never expected to find this kind of bond so far from home." They sat in silence, feeling the peacefulness of the moment. For the first time since arriving on Virelia, Jack felt hope. Hope for the future, for friendship, and for a new beginning. Suddenly a sound broke the quiet. From the trees, shadows moved quickly. Jack stood up, alert. Lyra drew her weapon, ready to fight. But from the darkness stepped a group of warriors. Not from Virelia, but from the Kargans, the mercenaries Lyra had warned about. Their leader, a tall man with cold eyes, stepped forward. "Jack," he said, voice hard, "you are far from home. This place belongs to the Empire now." Jack looked at the warriors without fear. "Not while I stand here." Lyra moved beside Jack, her stance strong and determined. The villagers behind them gathered, ready to defend their home. The Kargans sneered, but they knew this would not be an easy fight. The power of the crystal and the courage of the tribe made them a force to be reckoned with. Jack felt the crystal warm in his hand. He was ready to protect his new family, no matter the cost. The tension in the village was thick as the Kargans stood just beyond the clearing. Their leader, cold and ruthless, watched Jack and Lyra carefully. Jack tightened his grip on the glowing crystal in his hand, feeling its power course through him. Around them, the villagers gathered, ready to defend their homes. Lyra stepped forward, her voice strong and clear. "You will not take our land," the Kargan leader sneered. "This planet belongs to the Empire. Your tribe is weak and will fall." Jack looked at the leader, steady and calm. "You don't know humans. We don't give up easily." The Kargans laughed, but the sound was cut short by a sudden noise, a sharp whistle from the village's edge. From the shadows, warriors appeared, their faces painted with bright colors and weapons raised. Jack and Lyra exchanged a determined look. Together they moved to the front line, ready to defend. The battle began quickly. The Kargans charged forward, with their weapons drawn. But the villagers were prepared. Jack's training had changed them. They moved with new strength and skill, using traps and tactics Jack had taught them. Jack called out orders, his voice steady even in the chaos. "Use the high ground, protect the crystal bearer." Lyra fought fiercely beside him, her sword flashing in the sunlight. The bond between them gave strength to the tribe. They fought not just for land, but for their future. Jack focused his mind on the crystal. He felt its energy surround him like a shield. When an enemy swung at him, the crystal glowed brighter, blocking the strike. It was like nothing he had ever seen. Nearby, a young villager was hurt. Without hesitation, Jack rushed to him and placed the crystal on the wound. A soft light spread from the crystal, and the injury began to heal before their eyes. The young warrior smiled, ready to fight. Again, the Kargans were shocked. They had never seen such power. Their confidence began to waver. Lyra called to her people, "Hold your ground, protect our home." The villagers pushed back harder, their courage growing with every move. Jack's mind raced. He knew this fight was only the beginning. The Kargans were trained soldiers, but the tribe had something they did not: heart and unity. As the battle continued, Jack noticed the Kargan leader signaling for a retreat. The mercenaries began to pull back, their pride wounded. Before they disappeared into the forest, the leader shouted, "This isn't over, human. The Empire will return." Jack watched them go, his heart pounding. The village was safe for now, But the threat remained. Lyra approached Jack, her face tired but proud. "You have changed us, Jack. We were afraid before, but now we have hope." Jack smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. "We did this together. Your people are strong." That night, the village gathered around the great fire. The elders spoke of the battle and the new bond with Jack. Songs were sung, and the air was filled with a sense of victory and promise. Jack sat beside Lyra, holding the crystal close. "This is more than a fight. It's a chance to build something new." Lyra nodded. "We trust you, Jack. You are one of us now." In the days that followed, Jack and Lyra worked to strengthen the village. They trained the warriors, built new defenses, and shared stories of Earth and Virelia. Jack learned more about Lyra's people, their customs, hopes, and fears. He realized that trust was not given lightly here, but he had earned it. One morning, as the sun rose over the peaceful village, Jack stood on a hill looking out at the forest. He knew the Kargans would return, but he felt ready. Lyra joined him, her eyes shining with determination. "Whatever comes, we face it together." Jack nodded. Together. The bond between human and alien had grown into something strong, a friendship built on trust, respect, and a shared fight for survival. And as the light of the new day spread over Virelia, Jack knew this was only the beginning of their story. The days grew warmer as Virelia's skies brightened with the rising sun. The village was alive with new energy and hope. Jack felt a deep connection to this place, to the people, and especially to Lyra and her child. They had come a long way, together, from strangers to family. One morning, the entire village gathered at the center near the great tree. The elders, the warriors, and all the villagers stood quietly, waiting for something important. Jack noticed Lyra standing tall, dressed in her ceremonial robes, a look of pride and respect on her face. Saren, the oldest elder, stepped forward. His voice was calm but strong. "Today, we honor Jack, the human who saved our child and brought hope to Virelia." Jack felt a mix of surprise and humility. He had never imagined such honor from another world. The villagers watched him with warm eyes, and the child he saved smiled shyly from Lyra's side. Lyra stepped forward and spoke clearly. "Jack, you have earned your place among us. Your courage, kindness, and strength have saved not only my child but all of our people." She held out her hands, and from them came a shining amulet, unlike any Jack had seen before. It was crafted from silver and studded with small blue crystals that caught the sunlight like tiny stars. "This amulet is the symbol of our tribe's trust and gratitude," Lyra explained. "It is a sacred gift, given only to those who are true protectors of our people." Jack took the amulet carefully, feeling its weight and the warmth that seemed to pulse from within. He looked at Lyra with respect. "I am honored beyond words. I promise to carry this gift with pride and protect Virelia always." The crowd cheered softly, and the elders began a traditional song. The villagers joined in, their voices rising in harmony, filling the air with a beautiful, peaceful sound. After the ceremony, Jack and Lyra walked together along a quiet path near the village. The child ran ahead, laughing, safe and happy. Jack looked at Lyra. "This gift, it means more to me than any treasure." Lyra smiled softly. "Because it is more than a gift. It is a bond, a promise between us." Jack nodded. "I never thought I would find such friendship on a distant planet." Lyra's eyes shone with emotion. "And I never thought I would trust a human so deeply." They sat together by a stream, watching the water flow gently over the stones. Jack thought about everything that had happened, the danger, the battles, and the trust they had built. He realized that the true reward was not the amulet or the power it held. It was the connection between two worlds, the friendship that grew stronger every day. Days later, Jack prepared to leave. His ship was ready, and his mission on Virelia was complete. But leaving was harder than he expected. Lyra came to say goodbye. She held the child in her arms and stepped forward. "Jack, you are always welcome here. You are part of our family." Jack smiled, touched by her words, "And you will always have a friend in me." Before he boarded his ship, Jack looked back at the village. The people waved, their faces full of hope and gratitude. As the ship rose into the sky, Jack held the amulet close. It was a reminder of everything he had learned, about courage, kindness, and the power of friendship. He knew that no matter where the stars took him, a part of his heart would always be with Virelia. And as the ship sailed toward the endless sky, Jack looked forward to the day he would return, stronger, wiser, and ready to protect those he cared for. The end was only a new beginning.